Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Okay, apologies first of all for a delay since the last video. It's been a while now, but a few things happened. I wasn't so good. I had a lung infection for quite a while. Took a bit getting rid of, and I also had vertigo, which is the worst thing you could ever experience. Room spinning, stuff like that. But I'm feeling better now, and I've not had much to review, to tell you the truth. Every time I go in Lidl's every week, I've got most of the tools and things. But this review, and I jinxed it last night waiting for so long. My daughter's got me an air fryer, not that one behind you. I'll show you the one they got me for Christmas. Now, this one behind me, I've had for about, must be over 6 years. I would say 7 years. Right. Now, as you know, they're all the rage now. This past couple of years, the sales in air fryers has taken off, and they are a great way of cooking. But they're not new. The new style is with the pull-out drawers and the digital. But the original ones to come out were this sort. Big glass bowl, and this is the second one we've had. The first one seemed to last about 2 or 3 years. This one about 7 years. So they've been out about 10 years or so, I think, or maybe even longer. And that's the top bar. And they called them a halogen grill. But also, I have noticed on here, I do clean it, this. I know it probably looks a bit grubby, but it is 7 years old and used a very regular. But if you look there, it says under Ambiano, 2-in-1 air fryer. You can just see it there. So, yeah, 3-year warranty it came with this, but like I say, it's well outside of that. And what I was going to do was compare it with this new one I'm reviewing and unboxing on this video. Compare the two to see how they cook foods differently. I've bought a twin set of pizzas, an exact twin set, big bog standard pizza. I was going to cook side by side. So I was all ready to do that, and I thought, right, I'll make that video this week. Last night I comes to cook a burger and some onions and slice of cheese on top. Turns this on, there's a white flash from the halogen tube, and it's gone. It's done. The fan still works, the timer still works, but it's gone. The way these work is dead basic. There's a clockwork timer there. You set your temperature here, and the handle was the switch. As you pull the handle down, it turns on. So like I say, it's very basic, but it was fine for me. It did everything I wanted to do. And the good thing about them is they're so cheap. You can get a full pizza on them. With them you get 2 different height racks, and this one. So if you're cooking small bits like chips and things that might fall through, obviously you would put that on. And I used to put a piece of aluminium foil in the bottom to catch all the fat and that, and it was just dead easy taking that out. Now they are 17 litre, so that is a big conventional air fryer, conventional shaped air fryer. 17 litre, and you can pick these up for about 30 quid. And like I say, it done me great and everything. So how it will compare with this new one, I don't know. But here is the new one I'm going to be reviewing. It's still in its box. I haven't opened it since Christmas. It's near the end of Feb now, but I've been waiting to do this side-by-side test, and then suddenly that one I've just showed you blows up last night. So I'll show you basically in its box. I've not got the space here to do an unboxing of something this big, and I'm not setting my camera up in another room. So I'm going to take it out of the box in a second, show you what comes in the box, and then we'll thoroughly give it a test over the next week or two and see how it performs. So that's the box it comes in. A 12 litre air fryer, and the make is Scoville. I'll hold the empty box up in a minute because it's pretty heavy. But yeah, the make is Scoville. And that seems to be Asda's own make. Now, I don't know how much it cost my daughters, because it was my Christmas present. But if we look here, first of all, I typed in Scoville, as you can see at the top, Scoville air fryer on Amazon. It didn't come up, because it seems to be like Asda's own sort of kitchen make, as is like Parkside Tools for Lidl's, and Silvercrest for other things for Lidl's. It seems to be this Scoville is for Asda. They sell a lot of their stuff. But I looked down for a 12-litre one, and they're 65 quid, 12-litre 69 quid, 12-litre 140 quid. So nothing really cheaper than 65 or so quid. But I looked on Asda's site, and there's this very one we're reviewing. It's now £24 off. I hope they didn't pay full price, but if they did, they did. But like I said, they got it in December. But that's how much this one is now, £54.93. 3-year warranty on it. Comes with all these things. You can freeze frame this time, 60-minute timer, 8 presets. And a rotisserie as well. I will be testing out the rotisserie. So, as you see there, around about sort of 50 quid, which is pretty good value. Like I said, this one behind, and it's still selling them. I saw them in Lidl's last week. It was a famous make. It wasn't Lidl's own make, it was a famous make. Can't remember who it was, but yeah, and I think it was on like 29.99, 30 quid or 35 quid or so. So, yeah, if you just want a more basic thing, yeah, that's been great for me for the past 7 years. So let's get it out of the box now and see what you get with it. Okay, I've unboxed it and had a quick read through the instructions. I'll show you the instructions first. Yeah, really well written instructions, proper English. There's no weird Chinese translations or anything to laugh at or anything. It's all genuine stuff. Shows you how to clean it, gives you the full spec of it. And like I said, I won't go through every single page because there's loads of them. I'll show you actually how you take it apart to clean once I get it into the kitchen. Quickly show you the box. Now I can lift it up. It's the same on all 3 sides apart from that one. So it shows it's got a rotisserie, a motorised rotisserie with forks. I'll show you them in a second. Adjustable temperature controls and timer. And there in the bottom is all the bits you get with it. It's got glass window and light, touchscreen, dishwasher safe, shelves and things. So you can take the door off it for cleaning. And a 3-year warranty, again in the instruction book, gives you the full address and everything, contact number, and it is Asda. Everything is about it is their 3-year warranty. So quite a good deal compared to some you'll get. You might get one slightly cheaper off Amazon, but you're dealing with, getting in touch with some Chinese import market or whatever, sending it back. This is all genuine Asda stuff. So I assume they're as good as Lidl's. I don't know, I've never used Asda's, but if they're anything like Lidl's 3-year warranty, click above for a full review on Lidl's brilliant 3-year warranty. It'll be good. By the way, I forgot to mention it. Again, it will be going on this video for quite a while. There's all this waffling at the beginning. I'll be doing a summing up, comparing the two at the end, even though the other one is packed up, like I say. And I'll be going fully into this. I'll set the camera up in the kitchen and show you all the details, all the buttons, all the temperatures and everything. And we'll cook a pizza and stuff like that. One thing that alarmed me when I saw it, it says, do not cook extremely greasy food such as sausages in your air fryer. Well, if I can't cook sausages, it'll be going, I'm afraid, because that's one of the main things I cook. I never had any trouble in that one, and I've Googled it, and you can cook sausages. It's just, and greasy stuff, it's just, like it says, they do produce a lot of grease. So keep your eye on it. Some advise pricking the sausages some advise not. But where it sort of like splits it up and it hits the eating element, you will get a bit of smoke. A cooked sausage is no problem whatsoever in the other. Tiny bit of smoke, soon dispersed. So just keep an eye on it. Unless they're unbelievably greasy and the whole thing inside is covered in grease, I don't think you'll have any problems. Keep it out, keep it clean, regularly clean after each cooking, and I'm sure you should be fine. Like I say, Google it yourself. But by the book, it says don't use it for cooking sausages. But I will, and bacon and stuff like that. So that's the unit itself. It feels very nicely made. The quality of the plastic feels good. It pulls down like at the door. All the shelves are in there. The heating element's at the top, and that's protected by a grill. I have seen some that is just the bare element. So again, bits of grease will hit that. As long as you regularly clean it, I think you should be okay. The trays you get with it. I do like this compared to the air fryer I've just shown you. In a room on me desk. They were the cooking platforms on that, and then we had that very fine wire mesh, so you couldn't cook chips or anything on that. On these, all the shelves are like that. So no problem with anything sliding through them, and you'll just like that. And you've got 3 of them. You also get this drip tray. Again, in the glass bowl one I just showed you, I had to put a sheet of foil in the bottom because it did get very greasy, that, and it was a big heavy thing to take to the sink. So at least you've got a removable drip tray that can go in the bottom for this, which is good. It feels like a pretty sort of non-stick roasting dish type finish on that. So that goes in there as well. Now, size-wise, they're a tiny bit short. I wanted one that would cook a fair-sized pizza. It's not going to cook the giant pizzas you can get, but I could get a 12-inch pizza on that glass dish one, as I'll show you. Even though it's not working, I'll show you what it looks like on. And that was that. So as you can see, it's slightly bigger diameter, that. So we'll see when I come to use it in action, but I don't know, you might have to cut a tiny slice off the edge of your pizza, or it might just curl up okay. We'll see when we come to cook it, but the actual thing, if anything, the old glass one was a midges bigger. But I think it should be pretty good for most everything else. As all air fryers, lay your chips and things like that, fries for our American viewers, with gaps in between so that the air can circulate and heat them up. Don't cram it all in. And with this one, you get this rotisserie. So there's a motorised rotisserie. You just put these on like that, slide them up and down, and you've got your 2 sort of like bits each side. They'll go in the drive motors here. Again, I'll show you this properly when we've got it set up in the kitchen. I won't be roasting a chicken on it. I live on my own, so I never have any need for like a full roast chicken. But what I will try is a kebab. I'll try and sort of like rig up a kebab somehow. Maybe I'll be able to get that to rotate. I don't know, but come to think of it, maybe not. I suppose I could slice the... Don't use these at all. Maybe put in the comments if you've got something similar and you want to cook a kebab, because that's right up my street. Unless it comes out of a packet or a box and stick it in the microwave, I don't usually have it. I have no enjoyment out of cooking. It's just a means to an end. But I do love kebabs, so yeah, I suppose you could just stick one, as long as it was gripping that square shaft. You could have 4 or 5 chunks of meat on there and it would turn around. But yeah, we'll give that a try. And once that's in, when you come to get it out, you get this handle where you can lift it off and lift the whole thing out. So like I say, you get that rotisserie thing, handle, 3 of these metal shelves, and your drip tray. One thing it does say is, if you ever need to replace the fuse, make sure it's a 10 amp one. So I've taken it out there, and you can see it is 10 amp. Not the most common size of fuse. It's usually 3 amp, the red ones, 5 amp, the black ones, or 13 amp, the brown ones. A 13 would be okay, but make sure it's a minimum of 10. Most electrical things, like your low consumption stuff, lighting, and that only need 3 or 5 amp. But anything with a heating element like this uses quite a bit of power. I've looked at the badge on about it's 2 kilowatts, this one, and the other one, the glass one, was only 1300. More power consumption, but probably cooks things a bit better, a bit quicker. But yeah, it's a normal moulded on plug with a 10 amp fuse. Hopefully, if your fuse blows, usually there's something wrong with the machine. If you put a new one in and it blows again, take it back if it's under its warranty. So that's that. Like I said, the door, I haven't looked yet. You can remove the door for cleaning. Like I say, I'll show you that properly later. So that's everything you get with it. Let's go and set it up in the kitchen now. And I'll just, I think I'll probably start on some sausages. I'll do the usual, I'll do the burgers, which I had set up for me supper last night, and the other one blew up. So they're on a plate ready to go. So I'm going to bung them in, and we'll cook them and see how we go. We'll try some sausages, and I'll go to Butcher's or whatever, or when I'm at Lidl's on tomorrow, Thursday. I'll get some beef or something and make my own spicy sauce and cut some chunks up into it. So yeah, I've got it in the kitchen now, and I'm going to show you right now how the shelves go in and how the rotisserie goes in and out. So before we've actually cooked anything at all, let's have a look at the shelf fitting and the rotisserie spike thing fitting as well. Okay, I'll show you with the shelves out to put the rotisserie in. And what we do first, we'll put it in this left hand side first, and there's a little slot that you put it in, and there's a square insert in there that is the motor, and on this side it's this end little gap. You put the handle to take it out under these bigger slots here, but it's this end bit there. So if we just shove it in, try to do it. It's easy if you're doing it yourself and not trying to get your head in front of a camera. But just push that in there and then drop that down that side in there. That's how we put it in. If I've turned it on, I can't turn it on now with the door shut and there's loads of reflections on the door. So I'm going to try it now, see how it looks through these reflections. If not, I'll do it at night, because I haven't got any blinds on the window behind me and it's still daylight. So once that's in, you can see that there. Shut that. If we turn it on and then select, say, a beef one, and then start, I'll turn the rotisserie on and the light on. So hopefully you can see the rotisserie going round. I can hear, but like I said, there is loads of light behind. I'll try and block it a bit with my body. You'll see this better in the dark, but I can't show it with the door open because it doesn't run with the door open. And that's the display on the front, showing 20 minutes to go, and it's at 180 degrees. You can see that rotisserie is still turning there. And then when it's cooked and ready, drop the door down, put this underneath there, because obviously it's red hot, and it just comes out as easy as that. You can just grab the end of one of them with an oven glove or a cloth to protect you from the heat. And the 3 shelf positions, you can have So the light goes off after a while. And have that on there. Got one there. And one at the bottom. And the drip tray. That goes in the very bottom like that, so yeah, that's going to be dead handy. Taking that out for cleaning. So I'll just show you now how to remove the door. If ever you've had a normal oven with a glass door, you'll know that there's like an inner glass and an outer glass. And it can be a pig. You can still get, even though they're sealed, you can still get them getting discoloured inside. And there can be a pig to take apart. It's much easier taking the door off. So I'll show you how easy it is on this. It's just 2 spring catches. You see me sort of probably, it looks like I'm struggling a bit with one bit. It's because I'm trying to do it at a funny angle and avoid being in front of the camera lens. If you're doing it yourself, it's a lot easier. It's just 2 spring-loaded hinges that pull apart and the whole door comes off. I don't show you how to strip the door down to take the glass out. There's nothing in the instructions about that. But you'll find if you just remove the little pussy drive screws, you'll see in this next bit that glass panel will come apart. So hopefully you'll never need to do it. But if it does start getting misted up inside, it looks like it is easy, get-atable inside to clean. But let's just have a look how easy it is to get the door itself off. Okay, and to remove the door here, dead easy. There's just these 2 little switches here. Hopefully you can see them. I'll try and zoom in on them. There's one there, one there. You just push down and across. Push down and across. And the door just comes off like that. Whoops. You can see what these switches do. That one. You can see the little stud going in and out the end. And the same on this one. There. And to put it back in, so you can easily take that out to wash it. It's got a rubber seal around here. You'll be able to take this apart with these screws as well. If ever grease gets inside the glass. And to realign it, you just, this bit here has like 2 downward chamfers there and there. So as you push these little spring-loaded sticky out bits up to it there, you just push down. You can see it moving the switch. You just push down. Like I say, it's easy in real life. Just push that one in. Check the both in. That's in solid now, and it's as easy as that. So as you see, dead easy to get that door off, and probably dead easy to get the glass out if you need to. Right, let's get some actual cooking done now. So as I explained at the beginning of this video, I was going to do a comparison. The old glass halogen grill cooking a burger, this cooking a burger, same time, just see the results. But I can't do that now because, like I say, it did explode last night and burn the element out. But so I'm going to do the same in this one. I'm going to cook 2 burgers, 2 quarter-pounder burgers, and I always sort of like do a little like tray, make a little tray of foil. You could use a little tiny pan or a pan lid or something metallic. And I put a bit of sunflower oil or something like that in, and the onions in there. So they end up like fried onions instead of boiled onions or whatever. So I'm going to do that, 2 burgers, and I'm going to put 3 sausages as well on the lower shelf. Now, as I showed you before, it said in the instructions, not suitable for cooking sausages. It is suitable for cooking sausages, just as long as you get rid of the grease after. So let's have a look now on how long these burgers take to cook compared to the old one. I'll have to verbally tell you compared to the old one, and see how the sausages underneath on the tray below cook as well. So let's have a look at that now. Okay, so just about to cook me supper now. Try not to block any of this, so as you can see, I'm going to cook 3 sausages, even though it says don't cook sausages, on the lower shelf. I've got the non-drip tray here underneath. And this is what I'd got ready for myself last night when the other one blew up. Probably only have one, but I'm going to cook 2 burgers. And in here, this little sort of like foil tray I've made is some onions with a bit of oil in it. Obviously, being in that tray, they're not going to get the hot air from underneath, but they take less cooking than the rest, so they should be about right. So that's all in there, and I could have another tray below that full of chips if I like. So shut that, turn it on with this button here, and I'm going to select the meat one. So you can see going along the top there, that's meat. Yeah, they're not actual buttons that click. You're best if you sort of like wipe your finger past it. Sort of like wipe it down or upward direction. So we're going to leave it on there. The meat symbol is flashing. I'll leave it at, actually it's on, so it's set the temperature itself. I'm going to go down in time to 15 minutes. So it's saying 20 minutes. It'll only take 15 this, so we'll press start now. So it's going now. Now if I want the light on, you can see, hope you can see there the light. I'll just lower the camera down a bit. Okay, you can see the timer at the top is down to 14 minutes now. I'm going to turn this camera light out. I'll turn the light back on again. So you can see it there. I'm going to turn the whole lights out in the room now, so just give an idea of how bright it is. So yeah, it's pretty bright. I can see easily in there. Not so much the top, the very top shelf, but certainly that middle one. So I'd probably be tempted to put things on the middle shelf. So I'll stop the camera filming now, and we'll come back to it when it's nearing the 15 minutes. As you can see, it's cycling. It's showing the temperature, which will keep at 180, and the time. Similarly, it's showing the fan is going, and the heating element, and the meat symbol. So we'll come back when it's got about a minute to go. Okay, I've just checked to see, and they're looking pretty much cooked as it is. So I'm going to go down in the time to just another 3 minutes, and we'll see when it starts beeping when it's finished. If you want to interrupt the cooking, you can just pull the door down and sort of have a look. But I don't know whether you can see there, the onions are frying away, and the beef burgers at the back are looking pretty browned. The sausages, not so much, so I'm going to keep them in after I've done these burgers. So like I said, when you put it back up, the light goes out. You can also just pause it. You press pause, it pauses it for anything up to a minute if you want to restart it. If I wait longer than a minute, it shuts off and you've got to start it up again. So I'll press to restart it, put the light on again. Again, the light goes out. I'll just turn this one off. The light goes out after 1 minute. So we've just got 2 minutes to go now. So it is definitely quicker than the other one. The other one was 1300 watts. This is 2 kilowatts. So 1.3 kilowatts versus 2 kilowatts. Whether it's just that, I don't know. The fan is louder, but the other one, even with the shelf high up, the high shelf, so that the food was nearest to the halogen lamp, it didn't cook that quick. Now they are quarter pounders, so they may be just cooking on the outside and not so much on the inside. We'll soon see that when I cut into them. There, you've seen the light go out now. We've got 1 minute to go, so I'll leave it running, and when it's finished, it bleeps. It says it bleeps 6 times. So we'll see if that happens. So it should be nearly finishing now. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now whether it runs the fan or not, I've not seen that in the book. I think it... Oh, right, there we go. Answered my question. The fan shuts off after it's cooled itself down. So, yeah, after it's shut off, when you pull the door open, the light comes on automatically. And you can see, after what was probably about 10 minutes, if that, you can see the onions are a bit sort of burnt at the front there. Well, you can see them, but not too bad. Oops, I'm dripping oil all over the door, so I'll give that a good wipe off in a bit. But you can see at the back the burgers are pretty, they look pretty nicely done. So I'm just going to get that onto the worktop. I'm going to wipe that grease off there. So yeah, like I say, it didn't cause, there was nothing alarming there about smoke or anything. I didn't see any whatsoever. But as you can see, these, but yeah, them sausages definitely still look a bit raw. So I'm going to put them through there, up it again. I'm going to select 180 again, just press start. Doesn't matter when you've got on chips or meat or anything, because you can adjust the time after. So start it going. I'm just going to give them say 5 minutes, six minutes at 180, and I'm going to move the camera over to the worktop here just to see if these are cooked through or not. Right, I thought I'd press the camera button, but I hadn't. So I've just taken the sandwich apart again. So yeah, you can see that's the finished item just after, what, less than 10 minutes, and you can see it's thoroughly cooked through. There's no rawness. It's sort of crispier on the top than the bottom. And I've already put onions under there, but the onions were a bit burnt, but not too bad. I probably put them in a bit later on, halfway through the cooking stage. But there's a unhealthy supper for me. And I'm leaving the sausages cooking. I've put them on for 5 minutes. I'll leave that, it'll stay warm. And we'll just finish off. I'll reposition the camera and we'll see what these sausages look like after a further 5 minutes. Okay, we're just coming up to 1 minute left now. So I've only given them another 5. but they're the only occupied shelf in there now. And again, it should start bleeping and shutting off soon. So that noise is the beer machine repressurising itself. I've just pulled myself a nice beer to have with it. So that's reached the end of its cycle now. It's bleeping. We'll let it do that, and I'll show you it shutting down, show you the fan shutting down. Yeah, if you haven't seen the video on the Perfect Draft beer machine, check the link above there. That is a lovely part of Jeremy Clarkston's Hawkstone Lager. It's absolutely beautiful, it is. So that's going to be my supper. I'll just show you these sausages. Let's have a look. So again, the light comes on. And I don't know whether you can see that, but yeah. They're definitely cooked them. Without a doubt, pretty brown. And there's not that much in the... don't know if you can see that moving around, that fat there. I've got to leave it in there until tomorrow. I'll get it washed up tomorrow, not now. And but yeah, nothing to worry about cooking sausages whatsoever. So click that and all done. Right, let's go and enjoy this burger and beer. Okay, it's a day after now, and as you saw there, it cooked them burgers and sausages pretty well. I've brought them in. Well, I haven't brought them in. I've eaten the burger, one of them anyway. But I brought the sausages into the shed to show you here. I know it's a bit unconventional, but it's easier than showing you in the kitchen. And you'll see. I'll just hold one up. That's the top, cooked pretty good. But in round the sides and the bottom, that bottom is a bit sort of like greasy. But it is cooked. They are all three of them sausages are cooked all around. Now you wouldn't always get that in a grill, a conventional grill in your oven, because all the heat is just from above. But with an air fryer, you're getting heat circulating around. So it's like having a fan oven. As you know, you can batch bake in a fan oven. There's not much difference in temperature between the top and the bottom. But if you haven't got that fan, things tend to cook a lot more at the top. So, yeah, they have cooked pretty well. I've left all the grease and stuff, again, I'll show you here, on the trays. I know it's going to look grotty to you, and what I would normally do is, as soon as you finish cooking and the fat that's dripped into the drip tray is still liquid, you would pour that into like a tin or something like that, and then throw that in your garbage, and then wipe out the tray. Don't pour it down the grid. Don't pour liquid fat down the sink, because it can clog the drains. So I've left it here, and that's how much fat we got out of them 2 burgers and sausages. Like I said, I know it looks horrible, but it's just to give you the idea. Obviously, I'll be cleaning that as soon as I finish this video. I'll scrape it off with like a plastic blade or something, so I don't damage the coating, and scrape it into a tin, and then just wash the rest in the sink. So that's the drip tray and the 2 racks to see how much got on each one. This is the one that the 2 burgers were on, and you can see the bits of fat on there, but again, dead easy. That'll come off instantly under hot water, boiling water or whatever. And again, the ones the burgers were on. Now, these measure, I'm going to put them on the screen. They measure these shelves. I'll put it on in inches as well. 25.5 centimetres that way. They're not square. And 22 centimetres that way. Now, I bought, like I said, my plan was to do a side-by-side cooking demonstration of the halogen type grill with the glass bowl that I'd had for the 7 years, along with this new air fryer, to compare how they cooked a pizza. And I even went and bought 2 bog standard. I usually buy the more expensive ones with a bit more toppings on, stuff like that than this. But this was just for this demo. So I bought these 2 bog standard pepperoni pizzas, and they're the pretty big ones. These are 25 centimetres across, so it's about 10 inches. I'd call this a 10-inch pizza, not a 12-inch pizza. And as you can see, I'll show you alongside the old type, the halogen grill one, even though I won't be cooking on it because it's broke. But you can see they do fit on there. You get a bit of overhang on the 2 shorter sides, just a tiny bit, but they do fit in the oven, as I'll show you shortly when we cook one. So I'm going to follow the recommendations for cooking that off the box. As with most things, it recommends cooking from frozen, so I'm going to stick that back in the freezer in a second and get it cooked. Now, I haven't got a pizza stone. I've never tried a pizza stone, which basically it's a round or a square-shaped thing that gets red hot. You preheat that in your oven, and when you put your pizza on it, it crisps the bottom. Because the experience I've had with pizzas in the old halogen one is you do get a soggy bottom on them. I've not found a way to crisp them up really solid. I've tried putting them in the mesh, I've tried leaving it open, I've tried it high, I've tried it low. Low seems to be the best, because if you have it too high, it starts burning all the pepperoni first before it's even cooked the pizza. So I'm going to try it in this, see what the difference is. But you'll just have to take my word for it how the old one cooked it. But it was all right, but not brilliant. And I do like a crisp, thin base. And I could never, ever get it really, really crispy. So I may end up getting one of these stones, these pizza stones, because you can use them in air fryers. Put it in, like I say, you preheat it, and it's basically a red hot thing that crisps the bottom of the pizza. So if I do get one, I'll do a separate review of that. But I'm going to go back into the kitchen now and cook this pizza, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, let's get in there now. Okay, so before we actually cook the pizza, I'll just show you in the old one. Now, as you can see in the old halogen type grill, it fits with room to spare each side. You know, if I push it right up to the side, we've got quite a gap, so I would say you could probably get like a, I don't know, 11, maybe squeeze a 12-inch one in there. I tended to cook it on the lower of the 2 shelves, so not that one. I tended to cook it, put the low one in, on that low shelf, because if it was too near the top, it did burn the top before. But you can see on there, there's plenty of space for one. Now in this, there isn't. I've got that back now as far as I can, and it is, it will just about, if you really push it right back, yeah, that does in fact shut just. But when I tried it a minute ago, whether it's slightly not circular, I had it the other way around, you may find that the door is catching on it, so you may just have to cut an absolute little midges off there. But and like I say, I was hoping to cook them side by side to show you, you know, which cooks quickest and stuff, but this one has broke, so we're just down to this one. So I'm going to reposition the camera, get it all lined up, and we'll go ahead and cook this pizza, see what it turns out like. Okay, so I'm going to, as it says on the box, preheat it to 200. So it doesn't really matter which of these symbols you select. It's set at 180 now. It just seems to vary between 180 and sort of 200, 220. So as you go up, we're now coming up to roast. That one is shrimp, 160. Next one's 200. Next one's 200, so that's kebab. So we'll leave it on 200, because that's what it says heated up to. And we'll start it going. Just leave it at 20 minutes. Again, if you want, you can put the light on. I'm going to heat it on a low shelf. We're going to get up to 200 degrees. I'm not sure that's the pre-selected temperature showing there, 200. Flashing at the top, can you see that? No, you can't see it, there you are. You can see it's on 20 minutes and 200 degrees C. There isn't an actual temperature thing saying what temperature it has got to. So I'm not sure when it has actually reached 200. But once it has, we'll resume filming and I'll stick the pizza in. Okay, so it has now, well, I don't know when it's fully reached the full temperature, but it's pretty hot to touch, so we're going to leave it at that. And like I say, as you saw before, it just squeezed on, it's out of its wrapping and it's just thawed down a bit, so that front will probably bend down, but that is the maximum size you'll get in. So I'm going to cook that now. Now it says in the instructions 200 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to come down in time, which is this one, to 10 minutes, because I've often thought that's too long. It can be burning it on the top. Again, that's why I've put it on the lower shelf. I don't know whether I'm doing right or wrong. I'm the world's worst chef, but my theory is that even though it's circulating air, so theoretically it should be the same temperature for the whole oven, or fryer or whatever you want to call it, invariably, because the heating element is at the top, it will be a bit hotter at the top. So I don't want all them pepperonis to go really crisp and hard before the rest of the pizza is cooked. So my theory is put it on the lower shelf. I think that's the, let's have a look. Yeah, that's the lowest of the shelves. And as you saw there, when you open the door, it shuts off, or you can press pause to temporarily pause it if you wanted. And the top display here, I'll turn this light off. This display here cycles between the temperature and how many minutes we've got left. So we've got 8 minutes left. So I'll stop the camera now and I'll turn it back on when we're about a minute away. So it's just been 5 minutes now, as you can see. And again, as you can see, it shot forward a bit, but I don't know where the hell if I hold the camera nearer. You should see it's looking pretty good already, actually. The pepperonis are sort of curling up. Do it in focus. But I'm going to carry on with another 5 minutes. And then we'll see how it looks after a further 5 minutes. Okay, we're down to the last minute now. I've given it I think we're on the verge of them getting too hard and crispy, the pepperonis now, so I'm going to wait till the end of this minute. And then we'll see how it tastes. So you should be hearing any second the bips going, and there they go. So again, I'll just show you. It beeps for 6 seconds, and then I heard it click, so the heating element has gone off. The fan now carries on running. As you see, the fan symbol is still on. And And that carries on running just to cool the machine down for about, I would say, probably 15-30 seconds. Right, let's have a look. When you open the door, the light comes on. So we'll just get that out. I'll just move the machine out of the way and we can see how it looks on these plates. May look a bit sort of too burnt for some, but let's see how it. That is still red hot. So it's still a bit soggy at the bottom, but it's definitely crisper than the other machine. I will say that as I'm cutting through these crust bits, I can feel it has definitely sort of done the bottom a bit crisper. So just put a couple of them on there, and we'll go straight into the shed now and do a live tasting of these two. Okay, so it's literally what you've just seen was 1 or 2 minutes ago. Got it in the shed here. Yeah, bit hard to sort of display pizzas, isn't it, really? But yeah, that bit's not too burnt. Some bit of burn in there, but not thing. Still, you know, it's not crispy. It's still pliable, as you see there, but pardon me eating on camera, but it tastes fine. And I would say the bottom, having tasted it now, about the same, maybe slightly crispier than the other one. Even when I had the halogen grill one set at its lowest tray, it did tend to get the pepperonis very crisp and burnt before it had cooked the rest of the pizza. But very little in it. I've never tried a pizza stone. I believe there are these things called pizza stones, which are suitable, some of them, for air fryers, that you put in and heat the oven up, and basically it's a hot, red hot, sizzling stone, so that when you slap your pizza on that, it crisps the bottom up. I've not tried one. I'm going to research a few. If any pizza stone people are watching this, if they want to send me one to review, I'll do it. But I may get one, I may not. If I do, I'll do a review on it. But yeah, it's quite impressive so far. So far, I'm quite impressed. It's definitely faster than, it was faster on them burgers and sausages without a doubt than the halogen grill one. And yeah, so far it's so good. Easier to clean, I think. I'll go through all this a bit more at the end, but you may think the old one is easier, but you've got to take that lid off and find somewhere to put it. It's the same size, you know, it's like a big diameter, so I was plonking on top of my toaster. And then you've got the big glass bowl. I didn't show you, but that goes in a plastic stand. You don't have that glass bowl sat on your worktop. It's in a black plastic holder. I'll put a picture of it up here. I'll take a still layer of it in its holder. But you've got to take the glass bowl to the sink. It weighs a ton. You've got to put loads of hot soapy water in to clean it all out. There's like a lip on the top. It's not as easy. I've just found cleaning this out far easier. Just put the shelves in the sink, hot boiling water on them or whatever, and give the inside a wipe round with a damp cloth with a bit of washing up liquid on it or something. So even though you got all the surfaces and the door, you'd think it'd be more complicated to clean, but it isn't. It's easier to clean and keep clean than the other one was. I was going to stop filming for today, but I'm just finishing off the rest of this pizza. Now it's cooled off a bit. It definitely is crisper. If I hold this to the mic, I don't know if it'll pick it up, but can you hear that? that is crispy at the very edge. Not so much here in the middle, but now it's cooled off a bit, it has gone crispy, and it's still quite warm enough to eat. So yeah, it is crisper now than 10 minutes after cooking one in the other appliance. Now, you've probably noticed I've had my hair cut since you saw me a minute ago. The reason being, my two lovely daughters, Claire and Nikki, have come down. Nikki to cut my hair, and Claire to do this bit of roasting. Now, I'd gone ahead and bought some chicken breasts. As I explained earlier, I live on my own. Lost my wife 3 years ago. Live on my own. And I was going to do like a kebab, if you will, on here, chunks of meat. I was going to buy some beef, but I was amazed, even in Lidl's, how much it was. Sort of like this much beef to chop into chunks, like £4.25 or something. So I thought about these chicken breasts covered in like a sweet and sour sauce, and I'll do that. But Claire says, no, Dad, you want to do roast a chicken? Show them it can actually roast a chicken. And I says, no, I don't want a full chicken. I hate all the bits and the legs on it and the bum and stuff like that, and if anything's inside, and I just can't like stand handling it. So she says, right, well, I'll bring mine down and I'll cook my chicken for Sunday roast on your oven. So she's come down today, so you'll see her shortly. She's very camera shy, but it shows you it on the rotisserie cooking a chicken. And as I showed before, you just little sort of like wing nut thing there, loosen that off, slide it along, stick that bit into the chicken, and you'll see shortly it does a really good job. Now, this chicken that you're going to see in a minute is 1.9 kilograms in weight, which is 4 pounds 3 ounces, which is, you know, a reasonable size. It's not going to do a massive turkey in an oven this size, but you'll see it does this really well. So I said before that this will go in either way, and it will, but if you look here on one, there is a bit of a point, and then the square shaft thing there. But on the other end, it's just the square shaft thing. Now that's the bit that the motor grips, that very end bit there. And you can see it's like a square shape, and it's the same square shape there. But having that point on this end just makes it a bit easier to guide it into the hole. But it will fit the other way around as well. So don't worry too much about which way around that goes. But I would suggest probably shoving it in via that bit there. Now, you'll see in a minute, we've when we put the chicken on, we didn't have any string handy. I've got some somewhere, but it'd be ideal to sort of like string around the legs to hold them in a bit tighter. We've just had to use like broken wooden forks to hold them in. The reason being that if they stick out too far, they can catch on the bottom and the top. Now, you will see they are doing that. They are catching a bit, but it shows you there is plenty of power in the rotisserie because it gets it past that bit. As long as you've got them stuck pretty much in the chicken each side, or whatever your rotisserie in, there's enough power to drag it past that bottom bit and the top. Obviously, don't do a huge one in that's going to catch and strain the motor, but if it's just a bit of pushing past it, you'll see it's no real problem. So let's have a look at it now. We cook it for 40 minutes. She says that's usually about right. When she had a look, she said it needs another 10, as you'll see. So let's have a look at it now, and you'll see my daughter getting it all ready and starting the cooking of it. Right, this is as I said earlier on, living on my own, I never ever have a full chicken, or no need, but this is my lovely daughter Claire. Say hi, Claire.
Hi.
No, just look at the camera and say hi. Yeah, she's very timid, very camera shy. So she's doing this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't stick things up a chicken's bum.
I can't really get the husband to do it,
but yeah, I'll be the kebab sort of person, but it's just to demonstrate to you. So she's sort of pinned the legs back with sticks. Yeah, lolly. Well, sort of like wooden forks. Because it is a bit big. So right, we'll just get it in. matter of ramming it in and tightening it up.
The screw. And then, oh God, it's heavy. And then you shove that bit into there. It goes on. Just a bit fiddly, this bit. I do have one of these at home. That should be alright.
Is it clearing?
And you just, I pause you.
Right, I'm gonna pause it while we just sort it out. Right, okay, we've got it in now. It's, like I say, it's a bit too big, this, and we could have cut the legs and stuff off it, but as you see, it's a pretty big chicken. We didn't weigh it beforehand, but you can see how big it is. So, right, close the door and let's start going. We've got it on, what, 40 minutes?
You click your chicken there.
Click chicken.
Your rotisserie bit there.
Yeah.
And then I've put it on for 40 minutes. That's how long I do it on there.
Put the light on. So we can see, does it sort of go just one direction, or does it go there and then
it just
go
goes
back?
one direction.
So you can see it's touching the bottom now, but you can see it is actually going round.
Once
Looked like it had
goes
stuck,
round
but it's reasonably powerful, and them spikes are gripping it. So hopefully you can see. See it going round. It's too much light behind me. I need blinds here too. And you can hear it catching on something every now and then, but it doesn't matter.
It will get smaller.
It is going round. So we'll come back in 40 minutes and see what it's like. Right, it's been on 40 minutes now. It's going to beep in a minute, I think. But again, you can see it is turning. So you can see that is pretty roast looking. So what you reckon it'll need about another 10 minutes?
10 minutes because it's a big one.
Right, go on, we're going to give it another 10 minutes and then we'll show you the final product, and we'll show you how sort of like easily you can cut into it. Right, it's had another 10 minutes now. It should be coming up to its beeping. Okay, and there you have it. It looks pretty nicely done. So, do you want to just pull it out, Claire? Just carve a tiny bit off the. Okay.
Can't do it even with this now.
Right.
There you go.
Go on, do it from. So, yeah, see, it's thoroughly cooked. Smells great in here now. Okay, so there you have it. As you saw, it cooked the chicken pretty good. It absolutely smelt gorgeous in the kitchen after, and it was dead tender when it came off. So I forgot to tell you the temperatures. It depends what you're cooking on the top. So whatever you select, it'll allow a maximum and a minimum temperature. Most of them are about down to 60 degrees C and up to 200 degrees C. But there's one setting on it which is like dried fruit, which will allow you to go right down to 30. I think it's 30 degrees C. Very, very low temperature. And again with the time, most of them are up to sort of like 4 hours max. This one will go up to like 12 hours. So if you wanted, I've never cooked, I don't know what slow cooking is really, whatever, but I suppose you could cook at a very low temperature, 30 or above, for a full 12-hour period if you wanted to use it as a slow cooker as well. But that's on the dried fruit setting. Again, I can't remember what I showed you, but there's loads of things there in the book. Different thin frozen chips, blah, blah, blah. And at the bottom, dried fruit, you'll see they're cooked for 4 hours at 35 degrees C. So, yeah, I think it's a really, really nice and a great price air fryer. I did ask my daughter, because she bought it me for Christmas. She also bought herself one, and my other daughter, Nikki, the hairdresser, bought herself one as well, because they were on offer in Asda. as you saw before, they're normally 74 or something. They're down to 54 now. I was afraid they'd paid more than that, however, but no, they only paid 44 quid each. So if you see them at 44 quid, it's an absolute bargain. 12 litres, 3 shelves, digital rotisserie, and I really, really like it. So, yeah, to sum up, the other sort is the cheapest, bang for buck, 17 litres for 30 quid, but much more basic, just a clockwork timer, and more awkward to clean, much heavier, not quite as versatile, no rotisserie in it and that, but will cook a tiny bit bigger pizza, 10 inches big enough for me. And so either one does a pretty good job, but out of the two, I much prefer this one. So if you can get it for like 44, 54 quid, 3-year warranty through Asda, so you should be pretty safe in that respect. So hopefully it has been of some use. Now, by the time this is uploaded, I'm at this present moment in time, I'm at 3,999 subscribers. So should definitely be 4K or more. So a huge thanks to all my subscribers who've stuck with me, even though they've slowed down this past 3 or 4. As I promised, I will keep them coming, whether it's one every 1 month or 2 months or what, but I've no plans on stopping, but it's only when I see stuff that I can buy, because I've got to buy everything myself. Nobody buys it for me. Not sponsored. Nobody sends me anything. It's all out of my own pocket. So if you can subscribe and you haven't already done so, that would be fantastic. Click the little picture here of the shed. Give us a thumbs up if it's been of any use. I'll catch you for the next review, or whatever that may be, very, very soon. Bye for now.